Welcome back, everybody. Tonight we're making French Canadian onion beer soup. So, what I did was I wet a paper towel down because you want to make sure when you put your cutting board down that it's not going to slip on you while you're cutting. That could be a bad thing. We're starting out with 4 onions. We're going to peel them and we're going to slice them. Here we have our onion peeled and we're just going to cut it down the middle. You're going to place your fingers on top of the onion and make a slice through the middle of it. We're going to cut it about thumb thick. So you can do that. And you want to have some nice thick slices out of that. We're going to go ahead and slice the rest of them up. Here we have our onions nicely thick. We're going to fry these up with some butter until they start to caramelize. So here we have our pot. We're going to put 1 stick of butter in there. Roll that around the pot. The pot's already getting hot. We're going to take our 4 onions that were the size of baseballs and we're going to drop them in the pot and we're going to caramelize them. We're going to be using 1 teaspoon of dried thyme. You can use fresh, just use a little less. We're adding these to our onions right away because it's going to take time for that thyme, no pun intended, to activate in the onions and into the broth. We're adding 3 bay leaves. These were fresh and I just put them on a cookie sheet and left them out to dry, and they dried beautifully. Remember to remove them when the onions are caramelized. We're using 1/4 teaspoon of minced garlic. So our onions are starting to get a nice color now. They've been going about 12, 13 minutes. We're going to add 2 cups of beer to the onions. We're using 3 teaspoons of chicken bouillon or chicken base. We're using 2 tablespoons of beef base. We're using 6 cups of water. We're going to bring this to a boil and then we're going to turn it down and simmer it for about 20-25 minutes. So our soup is coming to a boil. I added 1 more tablespoon of chicken base to it because I needed to adjust the flavor. And when you make soups, you're going to find yourself doing that, or adding a little more pepper or a little more garlic or a little more broth. You know, you have to adjust your seasoning as you're cooking, unless you're using a recipe. And then even then, sometimes you need to add or subtract different flavors. So we're going to let this come to a boil. We're going to turn it down now. We're going to let it simmer for about a half an hour. So here we got 4 slices of bread. While we're waiting for our soup to simmer, we're going to make a little bit of croutons to go on top of our soup. We're just going to fry these in some butter until they're lightly brown. You can use French bread, Italian bread, whatever you like. I prefer French bread, buttered and toasted up, and a blend of mozzarella and Swiss cheese, or Gruyere Swiss cheese, which is a little higher end Swiss. I like the flavor of that. So we're just going to fry these up in some butter, and we're going to top off our soup when it's done. So here we have about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to just take our rounds that we cut out, and we're just going to lay them in our frying pan, and we're going to brown them up. Here we have our croutes frying up. and some butter, and they're toasting up very nicely. We're going to give them a real nice little toast so they're kind of firm and well toasted. So I fried these on high and they're starting to get nice and toasted up. Just going to be another few seconds or so. I turned the flame right down to a very low flame, and we're just going to let them finish in here for another half a minute or so. Keep tossing them, turning them over, and they're coming out very nicely. We're going to be using some Swiss cheese today. I just got a couple slices here. We're just going to mix that up. And we're going to use some mozzarella. We're going to place one of our croutons right in the middle there, and we're going to top it off with the mozzarella and the Swiss cheese, and we're going to pop that in the broiler. Here we have our French Canadian onion beer soup. And what I like to do with all my soups is I like to add just a couple of drops of Tabasco sauce to my soup. You add just a drop or two to your soup, you'll add like 25% more flavor, and it won't be hot. It'll just be a very mild, you won't even know it, kind of hot, but it adds a lot of flavor to your soups. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Thank you.